I never thought the woman I loved for 8 years would tell me I was not good enough anymore. As a software developer, I had supported Sarah through her weight struggles after her ankle injury, always making her feel beautiful. Our marriage had been happy until her dramatic transformation at the gym changed everything. That night, as she stood there with her new toned body, she coldly announced she wanted a divorce to find someone better looking. What she did not know was that her decision would lead to consequences she never imagined. Before I tell you how my world collapsed that night, let me know where you are watching from in the comments. If my story resonates with you at all, hit that subscribe button, because trust me, what happened next changed everything I thought I knew about love and self-worth. I first met Sarah at my college friend Tom's backyard barbecue 10 years ago. She walked in wearing a bright yellow sundress, her brown hair catching sunlight as she laughed with friends. Back then, Sarah was fit, vibrant, and full of confidence. She worked as an elementary school teacher, passionate about shaping young minds. I was immediately drawn to her warmth and authenticity. Our connection was instant. After gathering my courage to ask for her number, we went on our first date 3 days later. We talked until the restaurant closed, then continued our conversation, walking through downtown until 2 in the morning. Within 6 months, we were inseparable. I had never met anyone who understood me so completely. My career as a software developer was taking off, and Sarah supported me through late nights coding and stressful project deadlines. I did the same when she dealt with difficult parents or administrators at her school. We balanced each other perfectly. After 18 months of dating, I proposed during a weekend trip to Lake Tahoe. Her tearful yes remains one of the happiest moments of my life. Our wedding was everything we wanted, intimate, yet joyful, with both our families celebrating our union. We bought a small starter home in the suburbs, with plans to upgrade once we started a family. The first 2 years of marriage were blissful. We traveled when we could afford it, hosted dinner parties for friends, and built our life together. I developed a slight dad bod from her amazing cooking, but stayed relatively active, playing basketball with coworkers weekly. Everything changed when Sarah suffered a serious ankle injury during a charity run. What seemed like a simple sprain required surgery and months of physical therapy. The doctors warned her recovery would be slow, and she might never regain full mobility without consistent effort. The physical limitations devastated Sarah. Unable to maintain her active lifestyle, she gained weight steadily over the next year. Her physician expressed concerns about her blood pressure and suggested lifestyle changes, but the pain and limited mobility made exercise difficult. I watched helplessly as her confidence eroded with each pound gained. "Wilson, none of my clothes fit anymore," she sobbed one night, sitting on our bedroom floor, surrounded by discarded outfits. "I look nothing like the woman you married." I wrapped my arms around her. "You are still the most beautiful woman in the world to me," I assured her. "Your body carried you through trauma and healing. How could I not love every inch of it?" I meant every word. Her larger size never diminished my attraction or love for her. Sarah was still the intelligent, compassionate woman I married. However, she slowly withdrew from social activities, declining dinner invitations and avoiding photos. Our decision to delay starting a family until she felt better about herself stretched from months into years. Throughout these changes, I strived to make her feel desired and beautiful. I planned date nights, bought her flattering clothes in her new size, and reminded her daily how much I loved her. For a while, it seemed enough. In our 6th year of marriage, Sarah's friend Jennifer entered the picture. Jennifer was obsessed with fitness, competing in bodybuilding competitions, and documenting her life as a personal trainer on social media. She reconnected with Sarah at a school function where her son was one of Sarah's students. "You should come to my gym," Jennifer told Sarah during one of their coffee dates. "I have clients with worse injuries who are now in the best shape of their lives." Sarah seemed inspired for the first time in years. When she expressed interest in joining Jennifer's gym, I immediately encouraged her. I bought her new workout clothes, adjusted our budget to accommodate the expensive membership fees, and rearranged my work schedule to drive her to sessions when her ankle pain flared up. Her transformation began slowly. First came dietary changes with Sarah, swapping our shared meals for protein shakes and measured portions. I learned to cook separate meals, supporting her new eating habits, while still enjoying the foods I loved. Then came the physical changes as pounds gradually melted away and muscles emerged. Initially, we celebrated each milestone together. I cheered when she could climb our neighborhood hill without pain, celebrated when she fit into pre-injury clothes, and listened attentively to her excitement over new personal records at the gym. I was genuinely happy seeing her confidence return. Around the 14-month mark of her fitness journey, I noticed subtle shifts in our relationship. Sarah began spending more time at the gym, often with her new fitness friends. My invitations to join weekend activities were met with, "Sorry, I have a training session with Mike." Mike, I learned, was her personal trainer, a former competitive bodybuilder who Jennifer had introduced her to. Sarah spoke about him, constantly detailing his accomplishments and fitness philosophy. When I expressed interest in meeting him, she seemed strangely reluctant. Our intimate life changed too. Sarah, now toned and confident, initiated sex less frequently. When I reached for her at night, she was often too sore from training or needed to rest for tomorrow's workout. The rejection stung, but I tried to be understanding. As Sarah transformed physically, her appearance changed in other ways too. She dyed her brown hair blonde, invested in expensive makeup, and overhauled her wardrobe with form-fitting clothes that showcased her new figure. Her social media accounts filled with workout photos and inspirational quotes about leveling up and not settling. Meanwhile, I began noticing critical comments about my appearance. "You should really watch those carbs, Wilson," she would say, eyeing my dinner plate. Or, "Have you thought about joining my gym? Mike could help with that softness around your middle." To please her, I joined her gym and attempted a few training sessions. The environment felt foreign and intimidating. While Sarah received compliments and attention, I felt out of place and inadequate. My software development career, once a source of pride, suddenly seemed sedentary and unhealthy in her new worldview. For our 8th anniversary, I planned a special dinner at the upscale restaurant where we had celebrated our engagement. When I shared my plans, Sarah suggested inviting some of her gym friends to join us. Hurt but unwilling to disappoint her, I agreed. What should have been an intimate celebration turned into a fitness discussion, where I sat silently while Sarah and her friends compared protein supplements and training techniques. Later that night, I gave Sarah the anniversary gift. I had carefully selected a custom necklace with 2 intertwined hearts, representing our journey together. She opened the box, glanced at it, and set it aside with a dismissive thanks. "Do you not like it?" I asked, trying to mask my disappointment. "It is just so materialistic," she replied. "I am focusing on experiences now, not things. Besides, it would just bounce around when I am doing cardio." The necklace remained in its box, untouched, on her dresser. That night, for the first time, I wondered if we were growing apart. When I suggested marriage counseling, Sarah laughed. "We do not need counseling. Maybe you need a trainer." My romantic gestures were increasingly met with indifference. The woman who once treasured handwritten notes now scrolled through her phone while I tried to connect. When I asked about her emotional distance, she accused me of being needy and insecure. Despite the warning signs, nothing prepared me for what came next. It was a Friday night when my world imploded. Sarah had gone out for what she called a girls' night with her gym friends. I ordered takeout, watched a movie, and fell asleep on the couch waiting for her return. The sound of the front door closing at 1 in the morning woke me. Sarah stood in our living room, her gym-toned body highlighted by a dress I had never seen. Her expression was detached, clinical, almost as she stared down at me. "We need to talk," she said, her voice eerily calm, still groggy. I sat up. "Is everything okay? It is late." She perched on the edge of our coffee table, maintaining physical distance between us. "I want a divorce, Wilson." The words hit like a physical blow. I struggled to breathe, certain I had misheard. "What? Why? What are you talking about?" "I have changed," she said, gesturing to her transformed body. "My life is moving in an exciting new direction, and I need someone who fits into it better. Someone who understands fitness and can keep up with me." "I can try harder," I stammered. "I will go to the gym, more, eat better, whatever you need." She shook her head with something resembling pity. "It is not just about fitness. Since getting in shape, I have realized I settled when I married you. I deserve someone more attractive, more ambitious. each word stabbed deeper than the last. "We have 8 years together, Sarah. We built a life. You cannot throw that away because you lost weight." "It is not about the weight," she insisted. "It is about finally seeing my worth clearly. Mike says we often accept the love we think we deserve, and I deserve more than this marriage." The mention of her trainer's name sent ice through my veins. "Mike. What does he have to do with this?" Sarah hesitated, then straightened her shoulders. "Mike understands me in ways you never could. We have connected on a deeper level." "Are you having an affair?" I asked, my voice barely audible. "We have not been physical," she claimed, avoiding my eyes. "But we share an emotional bond. He sees my potential. He wants to help me build my best life." I spent hours that night pleading reasoning, reminding her of our history and the vows we had made. I recalled how I had supported her through her injury, weight gain, and depression. I reminded her of our future plans and dreams. Nothing penetrated her resolve. "I was a different person then," she said coldly, "weak and insecure. I do not need your protection or validation anymore. Mike has helped me see that." She slept in our guest room that night. The next morning she packed several suitcases while I sat shell-shocked on our bed. "I am staying at Jennifer's for now," she announced. "My lawyer will contact you about dividing our assets." 2 days later, my friend Daniel called. "Wilson, I need to tell you something. Sarah is not staying at Jennifer's. She moved in with Mike. They have been seeing each other for months. Everyone at the gym knows." The revelation broke something inside me. Not only had Sarah betrayed our marriage, but she had lied about the extent of her relationship with Mike. The affair had been physical long before she left our home. I spiraled into depression. Sleep became impossible, food tasteless. I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks, not from healthy choices, but from pure anguish. At work, my performance suffered. During an important client meeting, I broke down in tears when discussing project timelines, prompting my concerned boss to suggest a leave of absence. Sarah wasted no time formalizing our separation. Her lawyer, an aggressive divorce attorney known for extracting favorable terms, sent documentation requesting an expedited divorce process. She wanted the house, half my retirement savings, and monthly support payments, despite her teaching salary. The paperwork cited irreconcilable differences rather than her infidelity. When I called Sarah to discuss the terms, she was coldly pragmatic. "This will be easier if you cooperate, Wilson. You always said you wanted me to be happy. Prove it now." She weaponized my love against me, knowing my tendency to prioritize her happiness. When I hesitated about the financial terms, she sighed dramatically. "I guess I will need to explain in court how you were emotionally unavailable and unsupportive of my health journey." Meanwhile, Sarah controlled the narrative among our mutual friends. She described me as controlling and jealous, claiming I had tried to sabotage her fitness goals. Several friends who had witnessed my unwavering support during her transformation contacted me privately, confused by her revisionist history. The humiliation deepened when I encountered Sarah and Mike at a local restaurant, their public displays of affection seemingly calculated for maximum visibility. Sarah noticed me across the room but showed no remorse, merely whispering to Mike, who glanced over with a smug expression. Rock bottom came when I discovered Sarah had drained our joint checking account. The money I had saved for property taxes gone. When confronted, she texted, "Consider it compensation for all the emotional labor I performed in our marriage." I sat alone in our half-empty house, surrounded by the remnants of a life built on what I thought was mutual love and respect. For the first time, I considered whether I deserved this treatment simply for being an imperfect husband. The turning point came unexpectedly. While sorting through old photos, I found our wedding album. Looking at my younger face full of hope and love, something shifted inside me. I had been a good husband. I had loved Sarah, completely supported her dreams, and remained faithful. I deserved better than her betrayal and manipulation. The next morning, instead of accepting the unfair divorce terms, I consulted Jessica Martinez, a top-rated divorce attorney known for her ethical but firm approach. "Your wife's infidelity changes the equation," Jessica explained. "And the emptied joint account. That is financial misconduct. We have grounds to fight her demands. With Jessica's guidance, I documented Sarah's affair, gathered evidence of my contributions to her fitness journey, and collected statements from friends who could attest to my supportive role during her transformation. We filed a counter-proposal for equitable division of assets without alimony. Sarah's reaction to my newfound backbone was shock, followed by anger. "You are really going to drag this out," she texted. "I thought you would make this easy." "I supported you for years," I replied. "I deserve fairness in how we end things." Parallel to the legal battle, I focused on rebuilding myself. I began therapy with Dr. Taylor, who helped me recognize the subtle emotional manipulation that had characterized the last year of our marriage. Sarah's transformation was physical, but also psychological, Dr. Taylor explained. Unfortunately, her newfound confidence mutated into narcissism, and you became collateral damage. These insights helped me stop blaming myself for the marriage's failure. I realized Sarah's cruel words were reflections of her character, not my worth. With therapy providing emotional stability, I turned attention to my physical health, not to win Sarah back, but for myself. I joined a different gym, worked with a nutritionist, and found healthy outlets for my anger through running and boxing. The physical transformation became a metaphor for my emotional rebirth. Professionally, I channeled my pain into productivity. I returned from leave with renewed focus, taking on challenging projects that had intimidated me before. 6 months after Sarah left, I received a promotion to senior development lead with a substantial salary increase. As the divorce proceedings stretched on, interesting developments occurred in Sarah's new relationship. Mike's gym began struggling financially, affecting his income and lavish lifestyle. Friends reported increasing tension between them as financial reality intruded on their passionate affair. Sarah unexpectedly called me on a Sunday evening, her voice lacking its recent confidence. "Wilson, I have been thinking about us. Maybe we acted hastily. Perhaps we should talk about reconciliation." The old Wilson might have jumped at this chance. The new Wilson recognized the timing right after Mike had reportedly sold his luxury car. "Sarah, I wish you well, but our marriage is over," I replied calmly. "You were right about one thing: we both deserve partners who truly value us." Her response was a tearful accusation. "You said you would always love me." "Was that a lie? I did love you completely," I answered. "But I have learned to love myself too. Goodbye, Sarah." That conversation confirmed my growth. No longer defined by Sarah's assessment of my worth, I had reclaimed my identity and self-respect. The final divorce settlement proved far more equitable than Sarah's initial demands. The judge, presented with evidence of her affair and financial misconduct, ruled for fair division of assets without ongoing support. Sarah's attorney advised her to accept, rather than risk a less favorable judgment. Meanwhile, my personal renaissance continued. At a tech conference, I reconnected with Lauren, a former college classmate working in UX design. Unlike Sarah's superficial focus, Lauren valued substance over appearance, intellect over aesthetics. Our friendship grew naturally into something deeper, built on mutual respect and authentic connection. When Sarah learned about Lauren, she made a final desperate attempt to reclaim what she had discarded. She appeared at my apartment, unannounced, dressed to highlight her fitness achievements. "You have changed," she noted, eyeing my transformed physique. "I always knew you had potential." "We both changed," I replied. "The difference is that my changes go beyond the surface." Her facade cracked. "Mike and I broke up," she admitted. "He left me for a younger instructor." "I made a terrible mistake, Wilson. No one will ever love me like you did." In that moment, I felt no satisfaction. At her pain, only compassion, mixed with certainty that we could never rebuild what she had destroyed. "I hope you find happiness, Sarah. I truly do. But it will not be with me." As she left, I realized the irony. Sarah's decision to upgrade from me had ultimately led to my authentic happiness and her regret. Her superficiality had made her incapable of recognizing genuine love until it was gone. 1 year has passed since our divorce finalized. Looking back, I see how crisis revealed strength I never knew I possessed. The painful journey taught me that authentic love sees beyond physical changes, supporting growth without demanding perfection. I learned that while caring for someone is beautiful, accepting mistreatment is not love, but self-abandonment. Lauren and I have built a relationship based on mutual growth, rather than superficial standards. We challenge each other intellectually and emotionally, while accepting human imperfections. Last month we moved in together, combining our lives with thoughtful intention, rather than societal expectations. As for Sarah, mutual friends report she remains single, cycling through relationships that begin passionately but end quickly. She recently reached out to congratulate me on my latest career achievement, her message tinged with nostalgia and regret. I responded politely but briefly, maintaining the boundaries that protect my hard-won peace. The most profound lesson from my journey is that worthiness comes from within, never from another's validation. Crisis stripped away everything I thought defined me, revealing an authentic self stronger than I imagined. What initially felt like devastating rejection became the catalyst for profound transformation. What about you? Have you ever experienced rejection that ultimately led to unexpected growth, or stayed in a relationship that required you to shrink yourself? Your stories matter, and I would love to read them in the comments below. If this journey resonated with you, please like and subscribe to hear more real-life experiences. And if you know someone struggling with similar challenges, share this video as a reminder that painful endings often lead to better beginnings. Thank you for witnessing my story. And remember, sometimes losing what you thought you wanted opens the door to what you truly deserve.